Hey there, everyone. Uta Hagen here at Uta Hagen Channel, and I am enjoying this child artwork that I have here next to me. My younger son painted this when he was at my dear friend Emily's apartment. That was another time when Emily came into the breach and took care of our younger one during the time of recovery after our older one's eye injury. Now, I'm not going to go into that. You can read about that event uh, in my book, In the Curated Woods, True Tales from a Grass Widow, published by iUniverse. Um, he is recovered, completely recovered and miraculously recovered due to an almost 2 year process of using contact lenses and the luck of having just a very wonderful eye surgeon, a real man of God. Um, but uh, that's when he painted that. And I also like it that the glass in front of it is reflecting my woods outside. We have a sunny day, and I can use natural light coming in through the window. And that's so much better than having to sort of have a staged a studio. It just, I don't have as much trouble with reflection on my glasses, although that still is a reality. That's just the way it is. So I have like a short list of things, starting once again with some commenters. I know that once in a while my videos are ending abruptly. And I just decided, I'm trying to keep these short. The material is not easy to absorb. And always what I got cut off would have been, thank you. Thank you for watching all the way to the end. And, you know, thank you for commenting and thank you for clicking like. And please do also look at my entire playlist because the wellness moves are really the reason that I started this channel because I believe it's to us lay people to come up with alternative therapies for the psychiatric illnesses of cross-sex ideating and the very, very, traumatic experience it is to be having a sense that your body is wrong and that you're having body dissociation. And rather than taking pills, I think it's much better to find outdoor gardening therapies and movement therapies. The mental health profession has not really developed this very thoroughly. We're going to have to figure it out ourselves. As detransitioner Richie Herron says, we lay people are having to do the academic work. So, yes. Now, there is a repeated commenter, which I can't remember exactly the moniker they use, Muppet something maybe, but there's always a lengthy missive to me about how, well, all divorces are kind of the same, and why do you women want to keep on talking about the negative things? And that all of those get removed as soon as I see them. I'm not even going to do a screenshot, and I'm not going to bother my mind with exactly how you express yourself. The reality that I believe in is that women should have been posting like me about divorce situations, and certainly trans widows should have been reported in the news. Our books should be published by legacy media instead of having to publish the books on our own. Um, there's Sex Change by Christine Benvenuto. There's 18 Months by Shannon Thrace. And then, of course, there's mine, which I already mentioned. And I find this to be, whether you are male or female, Muppet something, I find this to be odd, you know, that you don't think a woman like me could be possibly helping her sisters by telling this story publicly, something that happened starting 30 years ago. I am an older, mature woman. I can't be canceled or, deplatformed or lose my job or any of that because I'm retired. I have Social Security. It's That's why someone like me needs to speak out. And in fact, I have someone with Phoenix in her online commenter name. And honey, please get in touch with me at utahagengrasswidow.wordpress.com. There's a contact form there. I would love to be your voice and tell your story. That is what I'm doing. We already have now the stories, at least in some small way, of more than a dozen trans widows coming out here. Oh, yes, this. This is a tie clip from my father. As my father was going downhill, I asked him if I could have various little trinkets. And of course, he always said yes. And so once in a while, I'll be, highlighting those. So yeah, okay, I kind of am done with the commenters. If you come on here, Garrett, saying detransitioners were never really trans, or you're such a bigot, or other stuff, you're just going to get removed. And if it's repeated, then you'll kind of get put in the shadows. I forget what they call it. I'll put you back in the closet. So that's the deal. That's just the deal. I'm doing this. I'm choosing to put myself out there. And your darts that you shoot at me are not going to land. They're just not. But I am going to go into a little bit of Nettie's behavior after the separation, which I don't think I got into in the memoir. I might write a little bit about it on my blog. But Nettie went through, first there was this phase of not wanting to be strong, I'm too weak, and he actually dropped our older kid when I was pregnant. That was pretty horrible. He had, it was just kind of incredible. We were getting off the bus and our older kid, was only 2.5, slipped out of his arms. He was just real resentful at having to be the strong guy, and I was waddling down to the exit door of the bus, and our older child said, "Mommy, I flied through the air." And then I grabbed him and said, I'm carrying him and pushing the younger one, and we're going immediately to the pediatricians. And the result was that he couldn't have pizza or any kind of chewy food after that. His baby front tooth became blackened. Thank goodness there was no concussion. He didn't really hit his head. It was very scary. And I think it's possible that Nettie was on some kind of pharma at that point, and he was very distracted. So the doctors who are prescribing these to people who have children, they really need to think about the responsibilities of parents. Is your patient going to be able to take care of the children? Or are you just putting all of the child care responsibility on the wife? It's something they really need to think about. So so then Nettie went through a a motorcycle phase after moving out and would ride the kids with helmets on the motorcycle. They got to ride on the back of the motorcycle with the helmets in the Brooklyn Pride Parade. And the kids thought that was real wonderful, and they were encouraged to really brag to me about it. And Nettie knew that I had witnessed the aftermath of a deadly motorcycle accident in Wisconsin back before they required helmets. And I really took that as kind of an affront. I couldn't do anything about it, but he seemed to pass through that phase, and didn't do the motorcycle thing. And then what I'll end with is around that time, our younger one, who was 5, would come back, after a weekend over there, and we'd just be eating dinner, or maybe, he'd come out of the shower or something, or we're making the lunches for the school lunch for Monday morning, and then he would just out of the blue say, "Mom, it's a lie. People say lies. When we're in the store and we're leaving, they say, 'Listen, guys, take good care of your mom.'" And, he was 5 years old. He knew I'm his mom, and that Nettie is engaging in a charade. And he didn't like it that Nettie was publicly being named as his mom. He was a 5-year-old. 5-year-olds care about the truth. And all of us should care about the truth. The truth matters.